Thank you to so many of you, leaders in the Korean community. I'm honored to be here with you and delighted, and I thank you for putting this together. Maybe I should congratulate Yeso Yoon on being named to the Skokie Human Rights Commission. It's an important development to make sure that the Korean American community is represented at every level of government, and in particular in a subject matter that I have worked with David on and that the Korean American community is so interested in, to make sure that there are equal rights and that we stand up for human rights and civil rights in the state of Illinois. David mentioned that he and I worked together. He says I was his boss, but it's not. Yes, I was the chairman of the commission, but David was on that commission before I arrived. And so I learned the ropes from David and from others who understood how the Human Rights Commission worked. And we worked together, and this is important. That's Bruce Rauner. It was important work because the Republicans before us, who had been running the state, had done a very bad job of running the commission. They had real challenges at the commission. And it was important for us to turn it around. And so we worked together, the Democrats and the Republicans that were on that commission, to make it better, to make sure that people were getting justice and civil rights faster and more accurately. And that was our job. And so for several years we worked together to make that happen, but it was because of the diligence and the representation of David Chang, and you should be very, very proud of a leader like David Chang. So I hope you'll give him a big round of applause for his work. So for those of you who don't know, I'm running for governor. But I'm running for governor because we need to put Springfield back on the side of working families in communities all across the state of Illinois. I was raised in a home where my parents believed strongly in social justice and economic justice to make sure that people were being treated fairly. And no matter whether someone's Jewish, as I am, Hindu, Islamic, Christian, or black, white, Asian, it was important in my household that we stand up for everyone's rights and that we work at it, because each of us has to do something to help. No matter where we come from, we all deserve justice. My parents were guided by their faith, my faith. They were also guided by their own sense of responsibility, their responsibility to the broader community of man and women. And unfortunately, my parents are no longer with me, but their values and what they stood for are still with me. Thousands of families across Illinois have benefited from the work that I've done because my parents taught me it was important to, throughout my life, make big differences in people's lives, to make change that would benefit others. And so there are kids who get quality preschool and quality childcare all across the state of Illinois because I have been working in that field for more than 20 years. And I want to bring universal preschool and childcare to the state of Illinois. Every child, every child. And there are more than 60,000 children every year that attend a museum that I led the creation of. That museum teaches those children to fight against bigotry and hatred and intolerance. It's called the Illinois Holocaust Museum. And those 60,000 children from around the state of Illinois are able to learn lessons there and take it back to their classrooms, as well as their teachers who take it back and teach it to future generations of children that they teach. That place I'm so proud of, because we can truly change the face of the state of Illinois, maybe the nation, because of the work that gets done at that museum, at the Illinois Holocaust Museum. In 2012, I founded a nonprofit small business incubator. More than 7,000 jobs have been created at that incubator, and hundreds of companies have been created there. It's something I think we can do all across the state of Illinois, incubate small businesses. You know that most of the jobs that get created in Illinois get created by small business people, by people who start businesses and grow small businesses. And I have spent a career helping people do that. And I feel strongly that we can do that in every community all across the state. We don't need an incubator everywhere. But the state of Illinois needs to stand up for small business people to help them build their businesses, because small business people are the engine of our economic growth in the future. Now, the work that I've done to create opportunity across communities all across Illinois is work that I'm proud of. But unfortunately, we have a governor and a president who have attacked almost everything that I've been working for, those values that my parents stood for. They've put these things under attack. Those school breakfasts that I mentioned, there are 230,000 kids in the state that get those school breakfasts, a program that I expanded. President Trump has decided he wants to cut all the funding for school breakfast. And Bruce Rauner is silent. And what do we see as far as children fighting bigotry and hatred and intolerance? Do you think that Donald Trump is standing up to teach those lessons to our children? No, in fact, the lessons he's teaching by his own example are demonstrated by his own actions. I truly believe that Donald Trump is a racist. I believe that. I believe that Donald Trump is a xenophobe. He does not want anybody from outside of the United States to ever come to the United States. I believe that he is a misogynist. He demonstrates that he does not respect or admire women, and he demonstrates that every single week. So here in Illinois, we need a leader who will stand up to Donald Trump and his racist, xenophobic, misogynist ways. But we don't. We have a governor today in the state of Illinois who is quiet. He's silent. In the face of all these things, he says nothing. And he won't stand up for working families. Bruce Rauner is someone who does not stand on the side of working families or communities like the Korean American community. Bruce Rauner has not done anything for small businesses. He's made the economy of the state worse. And he's taken away, by virtue of his actions, he's taken away health care, he's taken away education, because I just don't think he understands the job of being governor. The job of being governor is about waking up every single day trying to make people's lives better. That's your job. It's not, now he ran a business, and he ran a business where he made money, but he made money by firing people from his businesses. That's how he made money. And I don't think when he brought those learnings into government, he understands what it is to serve in government. David served in government. I served in government. I understand, and David's been in business. I've been in business. We understand that there's a big difference between running a business and running the government. The government is about working to make families' lives better, children, seniors, and everyone, and the residents of the state of Illinois. That's our job. So it's time to go on offense in this state. I'm tired of being on defense against Donald Trump and Bruce Rauner. We should go on offense and make sure that every person in Illinois has quality, affordable health care. Every person. It's not just a privilege, it's a right. It's a right. You should have quality health care. So I put forward a plan that will expand healthcare in the state called Illinois Cares. It's a plan that will allow middle-class families to get a break on their health insurance payments, and people who are striving to get to the middle class, it'll allow them to be able to afford a plan if they're not already on Medicaid. It's an important thing to do because many middle-class families and people striving to get there struggle every year with the increase in their health insurance costs. It's time to go on offense for our small businesses. You know, if you're willing to take the risk of building a small business, of risking your own capital and others, the state should stand with you and try to help you do that because you're creating jobs. And yet, this state doesn't do that today. In our Korean community and communities across the state, there's no shortage of hardworking, creative people that are ready to build those businesses. What we're short on is vision in Springfield. We're short on leadership from Bruce Rauner. When I'm governor, we're going to help small businesses get going. I put forward a plan for that: capital, technical assistance, and mentorship so small businesses can grow. Finally, it's time to go on offense to make sure that every child in this state gets quality education. And that means from the very beginning of life all the way through. It means universal preschool and quality childcare. It means bringing back vocational training into our high schools so that kids who decide not to go to college can get the kind of training and skills that will allow them to get a good job when they graduate from high school, not just if they go to college. And then, of course, we want to make sure that our kids can go to college, that we have quality state universities and quality community colleges in the state, but you have to pay for these things. We all have to stand up for education in the state because the future of the state is dependent on the fact that we in Illinois, we should be singing our own praises around the world and around the United States. Bruce Rauner isn't doing this. Sing our own praises. We have the best educated, most dedicated workforce in the entire nation. We should be telling everybody about it, and we should be investing in it because our people are our best natural resource. I'm the only candidate in this race with real plans in all of the major areas that we really need to build up in this state: education, in healthcare, and creating jobs. It's time that we built a better future in the state of Illinois. I want the nation to look at Illinois with respect. I want them to see that this is a place that innovation happens. I want people in other states to look at our state and say, that's where I want to live. I want to live in Illinois. Instead of having people leave our state, let's bring people to Illinois. We should be a state that people revere. I want small businesses to thrive in Illinois, and I want to create jobs here. I want to restore the respect and admiration that our state deserves. And I want all of you to have a voice in that. And I hope that you'll join me. We have a lot of work to do. There is no doubt about it. We have challenges in the state of Illinois. I'm not ignoring any of those. But I also believe that we have to think beyond the immediate challenges and think about what kind of state we want to build, what kind of state the Korean American community wants to build. What is it that we all can do together to make Illinois once again the revered leading state in the United States? I really believe in my heart that we can do that, but we must stand together. I hope you'll join me in that, and I thank you all. I thank you, David. I thank all of you leaders in the audience here today, and I hope you'll join our effort as we move forward and retake the governor's office in the state of Illinois. Thank you very much.
Everybody vote for Nazi primary. Vote for Pritzker.